Okay, just setting up the charts, and I didn't get a chance to go over some of this weekend, so I'm just trying to get myself familiar. Good morning, Ron. Just kind of get my brain back to a few years ago. Um, what I have here is the 5-5 blue. We're going to, trade this for a few days just to work out any subtleties and nuances or whatever. And excuse me, what I did, the recorder is on, by the way. So what I did, as I mentioned before, I set up all these charts ahead of time. Let me just put that there, pound Aussie 5. We'll come back and check that. So this is just the native chart. You can open up a billion native charts because the platform is already pre-built to handle all that extra data because it's their basic black chart. And then I just add the one indicator on it and then minimize it. And as you can see, we get the signal here, B bands going up, pound Aussie 5 minute. Can't get much simpler than that. And then we open up the pound Aussie 5 minute chart. Now, the reason we don't see the arrow, if you remember the B bands, once the B band crosses generally that 20 moving average, then you'll get an arrow, you'll get a pop up or a warning or something. Um, but if price goes back below that moving average, the arrow disappears. So when you get the pop up box, just come back and look. Just remember that we have to wait for the candle to close. In some instances, you actually will get your arrow at the close of the candle because it just times out that way. Uh, in a lot of cases, though, like you'll get the pop-up arrow for this, you get the pop-up box for this arrow, and yet it'll dance back and forward across that the underlying moving average here. Um, you guys follow me on that?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So when the pop-up box, like I said, it's not an automatic take the trade, but you come back and you analyze. And I got a pop-up box earlier. If you look back a minute ago on Pound Aussie, or even earlier than that, and I came back just to analyze. And looking, the previous day was 176. Today is 195. Odds are this could come all the way back to the 50% level, which I marked right here. So just on that respect, I'd be thinking long, okay? Then I come back, I check in here in my strength meter. Wow, excuse me. And this is pound Aussie. And we see that the pound right now is extremely weak, but so is the Aussie. And they're less than 2 points apart. So that's why you're getting this sideways action here at the moment. All right. But my bias on this right now would be long, thinking that it's going to come back into the middle and meander around a bit. But, that remains to be seen. And up here on the all the other indicators, you can see the majority of the indicators on the 15-minute and higher are all red or short. So we've got some conflicts here, but we'll come back to it um, later in the day to check it out. Good morning, Daryl. Michael sent me a multi-time frame version of the B bands, which I'll experiment with later.
Hi, Lou. Sorry, for some reason when I join the meeting, I'm automatically muted. I think that may be the gods having their say in this or something.
Oh, okay. Didn't realize that.
No,
I see
no, no, no,
somebody. Oh, go ahead.
no. I said no big deal. I just whatever. I mean, I can fix it, so I fixed it. So now I blather on. Continue.
Oh, all right. Good morning, Nancy. So I was explaining these lines that you see on the chart here, and also explaining that I set up my charts uh, This is how I had them set up a long time ago. I just opened up. I have a 15 and a 5 minute chart on each pair. Not every pair in here, but on certain pairs, a 5 and a 15. And when we get the signal, I then just drag that pair over to the chart and then open the chart and do some analysis on it. And the last signal I got a few minutes ago was the pound Aussie going up on the 5 minute. And came back to take a look at it. So I looked at my daily range. I've exceeded the daily range. I've exceeded yesterday's range, I should say. So the odds are this may come back into the middle. I have a divergence here. Okay, and if you remember from last week, usually a B band might follow divergence. So divergence is already in, and now we're just waiting for a confirmation break on the B band indicator. Okay, and we also have divergence on the MACD. I didn't put that in. I forgot to put that. So you have divergence on the MACD, divergence on my RSI, and now this candle has closed. So if you wanted to take this trade, this would be the time to do it because now this candle is closed, the divergence is set in. And how far is it to the 18? All right, we have a 6 pip spread on this, which is a bit much, but just for the sake of using this today, I'm going to make this a 0.1, and I'm going to buy it. So we're just going to take trades as they pop up where they make sense. So now we have a fresh signal. B band's going up on CAD yen. Oh, I didn't put the. Let me just drag in a. Come on. I'll put a take profit. I'll put a take profit right at this pivot, and I'll bring my stop down to this swing low. It's only a 0.1 trade, so come on. Okay, now if we look at pound Aussie, by the way, the Aussie is extremely weak, and the pound is, they're so close together that we may get a lot of sideways action here until one of these breaks out. Now let's go to CAD yen 5 minute, and that signal was a B band going up on CAD yen, which happened right here. But apparently prices come back through the back through the other moving average, the underlying average on the B bands indicator. So that's why we don't see it on the CAD yen now. If this goes up high enough, there it is. You see that? Now price is traded above that central moving average. But we need to wait for the candle to close. My bias on this right now would be short anyway, just because we've got a nice established downtrend here. We've got a nice big curve right at the 55. So my bias on this would be down until we break these highs. And if we look at CAD yen, we see our CAD is at 4.6, our yen is at 7. So the yen is certainly stronger than the CAD right now, which should pull the CAD down. So that would be my bias. This may be, a pullback. And if we were looking at this from an 1889 point of view, we'd be calling this a pullback. And probably to stop up in here somewhere, this shelf here. That's a hell of a shelf too. Right there. Look at all those taps on that price. This is the price here, the higher that the close of that green candle there. So not much there to really worry about. And what is this? This is pound Aussie. Let's go back and take a look at that. And again, this is going to be real slow moving because of the relationship here. Okay. Something, the thought just escaped my mind. Okay, I'm going to go out to the 15-minute chart and just run down some of what happened last night. You see here, late last night, we had just one signal, two signals actually, in the overnight, and they were both decent winners. on the pound Aussie. Let's go back to pound dollar. And again, two signals. We had one signal here during Asia and never got another signal again. And this is a great signal because it happened right on these two little candles. So you get all of this. You get this whole candle. So that was like an excellent signal. And let me just go back, and I have my B band set to 5, deviation 1, signal 2, line 0. All right. Let's look at pound yen. Very similar to the other pound pairs, where we had one decent signal in the overnight right here. Well, we had two. We had a nice long signal here. It was a little bit counter trend. I would like to see some divergence in here, down here, but we really didn't have any. So this is I would consider this a bit more risky, but certainly worth a shot back toward this 55, and in part because we closed below the 18. Now we have a B band. This is a fresh signal on CAD yen. So let's go back and look at that. Okay, that's long on CAD yen. And we've got a little bit of room here, but more to the downside with this, with the CAD yen. All right, and you see that the arrow disappeared. All right, so the arrow's gone there. So we have to wait. That's got to be on the close of the candle when we come back to it. Let me go back to, let me start again at the top just so I can catch up. Now I have to take my daughter to the airport, so I may leave a little bit before 10 o'clock. And she's visiting from California. We did pound yen. Yeah, we had the one signal. Okay, now let's go to euro yen. And oh, there it is, euro yen B band. But this is a fresh signal. The candle's not closed yet. All right. So we just want to take a look. First thing I look for, do I have any significant divergences? And not really. All right. This is an interesting little gap here. Don't see any divergences here, but we are now with this green candle, we've closed above all of our moving averages, so this could give us a decent scalp. All right, and we do have a bit of a 1, 2, 3. We have a low and a failed attempt to break that low. So 1, 2, 3. This could give us some room to the top, but we need to see this candle close. Now, because this is a 15-minute, and we've got the arrow, I'll go down to a 5 and just see what that looks like. See if we've got a closed candle on the 5. The 5 closed long ago in here, but it was in no man's land. So let me go down and look at a 1, see if there's a way into this. And the 1 closed some time ago also right here. All right, so the 1 gave us a small push. Let's take a look at pound Aussie. Going down. Oh, this is a 1-minute chart. Okay, so this must have happened that's 5-minute. Let's take a look. So we know the 1 minute's already short. So we must have had a short signal here. All right, is what I'm gathering. There must have been a short signal in this. Now this looks like it wants to continue to go down. So I may just close this trade and take this $10 hit because we're really bucking the trend here. I still like this divergence, but well, it's not going to be that much of a loss. So you know what? I'll just leave it here, and I'll just play the divergence and play the original move I saw. If it stops out, it stops out. Oh, does anyone have any questions or anything? I know you guys might have had a chance to look at this setup over the weekend. And I want to thank Mike. I don't see him.
Yeah, he's not going to be here today.
Yeah, he sent me a multi-time frame version of the B bands.
Yeah, I got that too. That looks good.
Yeah, I didn't put it on the chart yet. You see that yellow arrow flickering?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one tick below, one tick above, one tick below. So
Oh, I do have a question. Did you post uh, on Forex Factory recently?
Forex Factory. Gee, I dance around a lot of these sites over the
Oh,
weekend, and I don't recall. Now this may stop out, and if it does, and this arrow stays in place, I'll take the short. Um, and what forum was it in? Do you remember?
it was either. Oh no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. It was the. Geez, I can't remember. I can bring it up here and find out. But your Forex Factory. What I wondered is, it looked like I saw the B bands indicator in this screenshot, and also the part of the name of the poster was Star.
Oh, gee, I don't know. The
Don't
B
know.
bands have been around for ages, and I don't usually post pictures to the forums and all that.
Okay.
I'm
So if
not
I
that savvy, and I screw it up sometimes. So
okay.
yeah, I've made a mess before, so it's better I just don't post. I'd rather post a link, to the one of the picture sharing sites,
Right.
and then drop the link in. Um, okay, so Euro Aussie B bands going down. Let's take a look at that. The other thing I did too was I put all of these in order when I do this. So this I wouldn't be interested in taking this trade short. So you see that we've got the thing. If anything, this would go down to this, which is 14 pips. It might make it, but the general look on this right now is long, but I'm thinking that this pivot may hold. I just need to see a little more proof. Okay, so we've got a nice wedge thing going on here, and we'll see if this holds, if this pivot is going to hold. But it's been in a decent uptrend. Oh, and again, let me go to the 15 minute. I didn't go all the way down the list. Again, last night we had a long signal here, again with a nice setup where we're above the 18 and above the 55. We had another long setup here, and all of these produced decent trades on the 15-minute chart. All right, let's go down to New Zealand. Last night with the New Zealand yen, I guess just chopped around a bit. We have a signal here, but remember this is a 15. And if we get this thing to flicker, if this thing starts flickering, then we go down to a lower time frame and see if we get a signal in that way. Let's look at CAD yen. And again, CAD yen was kind of slow. A couple of the banks were closed yesterday because of Columbus Day. Um, oh, by the way, when you switch these screens like this, usually you'll get another. Sometimes you'll get another pop-up box that will relate to the last arrow that showed up on the chart. So we're getting a possible long signal here. And this is CAD yen. We do have some divergence here. Okay, you see that? From here to here and from there to there. So this may want to take a run up. Okay, but the arrow's not closed yet. Let's look at dollar yen. Dollar yen was pretty decent last night. You had one signal here for a short, another clean signal here for a short. So that was, pretty easy pickings. Dollar Chef. I don't know if Dollar Chef is in my watch list or not. But again, one signal short here during London, and it kept us in. You see the 18 kept us in the whole time, and then another short here in the U.S. session, and the 18 would still be keeping us in. So as I mentioned to someone last week, these signals tend to be pretty good, but you just don't know when they're going to pop up. And I have an EA I wrote for this, but it's got a tweak in it that perhaps I can get a Tony to correct. Let's look at dollar CAD. And again, dollar CAD is, well, this Asian high seems to be holding here. We've got a nice shelf up here at the top. Let's see if that's, going to be of any significance later on. All right. So we came back, bounced off the 55, bouncing off the 55 again. We're right at the R1. This is a Christmas tree here, so there's really no direction. All right. And that's pretty much it. I only have the 5 and 15-minute charts set up on the watch because the 1 minute you'll get so many arrows that it'll just make you nuts. So we have a signal going down on New Zealand yen. And that could make some sense. That was this candle, I believe. So let's watch this and see what happens. Again, this is a nice established downtrend. Our yen is strong. Our New Zealand is about 2 points away. So this could give a slow, meandering drop down. When these numbers are close together is when you usually get all the sideways motion and piano keys. But I believe it was this candle that gave us the 5-minute chart. I'm sorry. There we are. That's it right there. Okay. On New Zealand yen going down 5 minutes. So if this closes short, now we've got short all the way across the board here. That looks good. And again, we've got at least 2 points difference between the yen and the New Zealand. The yen is much stronger than the New Zealand, so that should pull this New Zealand down. But we need to see this candle close. And I'll do everything 0.1s on this. And we'll wait for that. If that closes, we'll take that as a quick short. Oh, what is it? News? No. It's 9 o'clock. So that pound Aussie I see just kicked into profit. Well, it went back again, but. And again, as it had a 6-pip spread, but I don't let spreads scare me because you really look at the bigger picture, the overall chart analysis. So I'm just waiting for this candle. And let me go down to a 1 minute and just take a look down there. Okay, 1 minute we had a signal here already. Not much movement on it, but let's go back to the 5 and wait for the new candle to open. How many more minutes? Oh, we're right in the middle. This may take a while. All right, but we'll sit on this. And I'll move this over to the side. Let's go take a look at that pound Aussie. And you can see it looks like this divergence held. All right, we're in positive territory here. The long-term target would be up here if I were to split this trade, but I only have a 0.1 in. All right, so you see 6-pip spread, but if you do the analysis, you don't let the spread scare you. We were just on another pair here. New Zealand yen is what we were looking at on the 5-minute chart. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we go back to New Zealand yen. I'm still waiting for this candle to close. And like I said, you could go down to a 1 and look for something there. Nothing here on the 1. This 1's going to pull back. You got me? That's 5 candles deep. This 1 should pull back up into here somewhere, a few pips, and then give us a leg short. So I would expect on that 5-minute, because this is one single solid candle, when this next candle opens, it could pull back up into about here and then give us the leg down. B-band's going down, New Zealand yen. That's where we are now. 5-minute going down, CAD yen. So the yens apparently are on a run. Let's go take a look at CAD yen. And yeah, there's our CAD yen. And you see that shelf held. We closed above it, and it was a fake out. Next candle came right back in, so that means this should keep going. So that played out. So we got a pair of yens that are giving us a signal. Now, here's a good question. If you could only take one of the two, New Zealand yen or CAD yen, which chart looks the best to you?
Could you put the CAD yen back up, please?
Yep. And I'll move this box out of the way. That's CAD yen. Okay. And New Zealand yen. I'm going to take the New Zealand yen just
Geez, it's hard to say what's happening in that gap there.
in here. Well, the gap is filled basically. It's going to come down to here is what my belief is.
Yeah, I do.
Um,
So I agree. This New
right.
Zealand yen.
So I'm going to go up here and put my stop up here at this little swing high, and I'm going to bring my take profit down here to this. Oh, I got to click this button, and now bring my take profit rather down here to this top of this candle. Why didn't it do that for me? Okay, to top of this candle here, which will be a gap close. But if it gives me a decent number, I'll grab that and be done with it. Let's go back to pound Aussie. And again, this is holding. That divergence is holding, so this thing may make its way all the way back up to here. All right, I can hear Michael, hey, you got your 5 pips, Lou. I can hear him in the back of my mind. Because that's exactly what he would say. I kid you
Well,
not.
it's just recently he's been taking 5 and 6 pips on a trade. Before it was 3.
Oh, okay, okay. That's good. So, and again, I did point ones here. Now I'll grab the 10 because that's kind of my, I got my profit. Boom. Got it on both of them. Nice.
Great.
Okay. Let's go to account history. And there are 2 winners right there.
Oh, it's a new hour. That's what's going on.
Yeah, well, it could be. It's exactly
Right.
9 o'clock.
Right.
And I don't know who's talking, whatever. And again, I kept the lot size tiny because you learn better on a live account uh, than a demo, if you get what I mean. And I treat this like a live account. Uh, I don't have my. I think I'm going to abandon the copiers for right now because they've been giving me a headache. But this would be our long-term goal, by the way. So had this been a one lot trade, I would have probably taken half off at that take profit and let the other half run up to this line here, which would be the 50%. But we're going to keep an eye on that during the day. All right. So pound Aussie going up. Let's go. Well, that was this arrow right here. And again, we waited for it to close. And the reasonable target when you close above the 18 would be this 55. All right. This is pound dollar. Let's take a look at pound dollar. B-band going down on pound dollar. That looks nice. We're way oversold here. Overbought, rather, on the oscillator. We've got mostly red up here, which is good. The pound is weaker than the dollar by at least 2, so that's good. So what we need to see here is this candle close. Now the only issue with this is that we're back out at our regular daily range. Yesterday the banks were closed, the U.S. banks were closed, so we didn't have much going on. So this 187 is about, that's a pretty good run for the dollar. Okay, and we made 2 bottoms here. And I don't see anything in divergence on this at all as I
Lou,
look
but
back. Oh, go ahead.
Look, I was gonna say like you want to try to play that though back to the bottom because I mean like there's like 13 pips to the bottom
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely, I
for
would.
right now.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. All right. That's what I said. We've got red here. We've got a distance of better than 2 in here. So another shot back at the bottom for another 5, 8 pips. Yeah. Well, I see no reason to.
Okay.
A textbook head and shoulders here, by the way, and a 1, 2, 3 textbook 1, 2, 3. So what I'm going to do here is go down to this pound dollar 1 minute and just see what's going on there. Nothing there. Okay, and you see how it's just really, really slow. Let's go back to the 5 minute. However, if this kicks now, we're only 2 candles after this one green candle pullback, so we might not have to take much of a ride on this. Oh, there it is right there. So let's take that short, bring this over so everybody can see what I'm doing. I'm still at point one. I'm going to sell, and I'm going to bring my stop right to that high. Hang on a second. I didn't see what the what's the spread on this is 3.1. So where am I here? 11 pip. Okay, I can live with that. And slide this out of the way. And now I want to bring my take profit just a hair above this bottom. Oh, I got to close that box. I want to bring my take profit just a hair above this bottom. All right. But if it gets to, if it's looking good, I'll grab what's there. All right. Now I know I move a little quick in some of my explanations, but I'm just using stuff we've already gone over. You look for your double bottoms. You want to check your trend. This is all the basic stuff. Now this pair wants to turn around only because if you see how this is coming down and it looks like it wants to make a turn in here, but a real slow sort of a turn. We don't have that hard angle where the candles are nowhere near the 18. The candles now have entertained the 18 a couple of times. You see that? So this thing may want to turn around because we have gone and hit our range. All right, so it's just something to keep in mind. Um, and this is what pound dollar. So here's our pound is at 167. The dollar is at 486. That's at least a difference of 2. So I'm happy about that. Um, Now I'm going to go out to a 1 hour chart just to show you uh, what happens here with these. You see these huge candles? Once this starts to flicker, if you ever set it up on a 1 hour chart, once this starts to flicker, you want to go to your lower time frame to try to grab that. Same thing with this signal here, or this signal, or this long signal. All right, because sometimes you'll get these long candles on a 1 hour, and on the 1 hour you may never get a great spot in, even though this did produce 40 pips. You'd be apprehensive about entering on such a long candle because you may be thinking that this thing could turn around on you. And that would go across the board with a lot of the other pairs. And again, with the 1 hour, you notice that was our only short signal right there. And the 18 kept us in, kept us in, kept us in until right here. All right, but you just don't know when that's going to happen. So when I get the EA squared away, we can all beta test it, with different settings or whatever, and try to take advantage of it. Look at pound yen, same thing, euro yen. So again, if you do your analysis, don't let spreads scare you. Because I know a lot of guys just bang their heads against a wall because they're so worried about a 2.2 spread versus a 1.8, and they get into these whole dialogues and all this agita instead of taking 5 minutes to really analyze what you're doing. Now this was a euro yen. Let me just drop down here and see if that signal was in this list. Or did I miss it? B-band's going down euro yen. Okay, so that was 1355, which was 855. That was this signal. All right. So here's yen is strong. Euro, boy, well, see, that's why this is all sideways. Because you see they're about 2 digits apart. The
Right.
Yeah, that's why this is sideways. I like to see a nice wide disparity. Let's take a look at pound yen. This is the one we're in now. Where's my stop loss and take profit? I wonder why the lines don't show up.
We're in the pound dollar.
Oh, pound dollar. Okay. That would be why the lines didn't show up. You see?
Details.
Yeah, I know. Let's go back to pound dollar. So yeah, pound dollar is still all right. Well, let me go to pound yen because that's what I want to look at because of the disparity between the yen and the pound. All right.
What's the dotted moving average?
55.
Oh, okay.
And because I have these signals set so fast, I wanted a faster idea of the immediate trend. Okay. Now, I like this pound yen, but we've gone a long way today. See that? We've covered a lot of ground today on the pound yen.
Yeah, I caught a good one during Asia last night. Asia was going bonkers.
Yeah, well, you see, Asia gave one great signal right there. That I don't know if you can see that yellow in there, that arrow. Does that show up on your side?
Yeah.
There's a yellow arrow right here. Maybe you can't see it, but
Yeah, I can see
okay,
it barely because it's a white background, but yeah.
right. So I want to go down to a 1 minute because I want to because as long as the pound is still that much weaker than the yen, I'd like to take advantage of it. So what I'd look for now would be a 1 minute arrow short on pound yen, just to take advantage of this disparity. But as you can see on the M1, on the moving average and the stochastics, they're all long right now, which makes sense. The stochastic is long, and I'll get into the settings on this, another time. What's going on in here, and because you can change all these also. But now, my thinking would be I would be looking for a short here. And if it closes above this on the 1 minute, then we could be looking at a decent sized pullback. But we'll see. That would be my target there. So we'll see. Let's go back to the 5. And again, we're making a little bit of piano key foolishness here. And also because we've extended the range, there's probably a lot of thinking going on here about how far it could go. But if anything, I would try to take a little shot short because it is about 15 pips to the bottom. You take off, 6. So if I can get like a 7 to 9 pip move, I would not kick the cat. Let's go back to the 1 minute. So you see I'm waiting for the short here, waiting to get a short arrow. The nice thing is because no other boxes are popping up, there's really nothing to look at on the other charts. So you don't have to go from chart to chart to chart to chart and get crazy with it. All this is coming back to me now. It's been a couple of years since I've done this. My coffee didn't come out right this morning. But I made my first goal. I made a stranger laugh today, so that was good. It's one of the things I try to do every day is to make someone I don't know laugh.
That's an excellent goal.
Ah, there we go. See that? Oh, that's pound yen. Oh no, where's the pound yen signal?
That's a Kiwi.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, but you see what we're looking at here. So, but this has to close. Once it closes on the 1 minute, then I'll take a shot at it. Because this could go, oh, you know what? Maybe if two of them pop in at one time, I guess the first one takes precedent. Oh, I don't have it set up on a 1 minute. That's why we didn't get a signal. There it is. Okay, B band's going down, pound yen 1. There we are. So now new order. Bring this over, sell. Okay. And let's go back to pound dollar. And there we go. We're let me see, where are we here? About 7 minus the 3 pip spread should be 4. That's about right. And again, just analyzing everything. I didn't see what the spread was on the pound yen. It must have been pretty big at that moment I took the trade. Let's go back to pound yen. Yeah, 6 pip spread. That's not so bad. But I need to put in a stop and a take profit. And let me see here. What's this high? That's about 13 pips. That's workable. For pound yen, that's not a bad stop. All right, then okay. And now we're going to bring this down just a hair below this low. Take that. All right, and then we'll just see where this takes us. Let's go back to pound dollar. Do I need to adjust anything? No. That looks like it wants to get down here, but we'll see. Yeah, so I'm trying not to go too fast with the analysis, but you do get the main idea. When the arrow signal pops up, then you want to go and look at the chart and just see what's happening. And that was pound dollar, and the other pair is pound yen. They should both be sells, which they are. And it's kind of easy to get caught up with a pound long and another pound short, if you're working quick and not locked in on. Let's take a look at Aussie yen. We don't have a signal on this yet, but Aussie yen is now the weakest, and the yen is still pretty strong. New Zealand yen, CAD yen. Where's Aussie yen? That must not be on my list, but let's take a look at it. Oh yeah. Well, we missed the 1 minute here. Now on an 1889, I'd be all over this. That's exactly what you look for. That signal, but we're not doing that. So we got to stay disciplined with the method we have. And so basically, what I'd be doing here right now, I'd be looking for a short on the 1 minute. You follow me on that? We're clearly short. And I'm not going to do the 1889 on that. I'm actually going to wait for this thing to give me the signal. All right, which this may not. This could just be just a hell of a drive down.
Yeah, both the odd and the kiwi are both falling like a rock right now.
The Aussie New Zealand, you saying?
Well, the Aussie and the New Zealand, all the pairs of those are falling.
Oh, okay.
Aussie's currently at the bottom on my chart, my thing, so yours too, and the Kiwis has been falling steadily.
The New Zealand dollar? When you say kiwi, which page?
Yeah, kiwi is okay because kiwi fruit and kiwi bird or something like that. I don't know. But
All right.
Yeah.
But that's New Zealand dollar, you're saying?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that. Yeah. And again, we're on the 1 minute already, so we can't go any lower. So basically, we'd be waiting for, now that's a 1889 if I ever saw one right here. That was 8 pips already.
Those 3 bars before that, the drop.
Yeah.
Big drop. That happened like within about, well, as soon as the hour changed over at 9 o'clock, that happened within 2 minutes. Well, 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
3 minutes, yeah. All right, pretty cool. So our pound yen, we had a big spread, but we're pretty close to being out of that. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, we're looking good. We should get a little pullback here now because we're like 4 candles deep. So we should get a little pullback back to our entry, and then maybe the turnaround. on the pound yen. Let's go take a look at pound dollar. Do I need to bail out of this? Oh, you stinking rat. It got like, how much closer can you get, to your take profit here? And it was
Still
up
got,
7 and change, right?
still got 6, almost 7.
Yeah. Oh, you know how to make this candle go down to the take profit and keep going?
Yeah, close your order.
Yep, you got that right. Been there, done that too many times. You know what? I'll take the 6.5. Oh, Jesus, look at that. All I have to do is just say it, and it just does that. Come on back. I'll take
I
the
was
6.
I was in the pound yen last night, and it hit 25, and it was at a 1 hour level, or plus 25 for me. It was at a 1 hour level, so I closed it, and it immediately dropped another 30.
I know that's just enough to make you insane. Okay, so we're out of this, and that's close enough to the bottom. I mean, there's no telling where it's going to go. But as I said, this is a hell of a range here. And I think, as Phil said, it's worth a try back to the bottom here. I believe this was the pair you were talking about, Phil, yes?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it was we got something out of it. And this 5 minutes still looks good, but you see we're making piano keys here now. B-bands going up on Euro Yen 5 minute. So let's go take a look at Euro Yen 5 minute. That's this, but we're still trapped in all this slop. So I'm not, really thrilled about this yet. And it's only 7 pips to the top, a 3 pip spread. So yeah, that's a lot to fight. And it could end up being a big winner, but I'd rather pick something that looks a little bit better. You know what I mean? This is much more of a gamble here. And we've got this, what do you call it in it? We're in this range. I'll mark it right there. See how we're banging off the top and bottom of this? So there's not much there to really concern ourselves with. Okay, dollar yen, B band's going up. Let's take a look at that. And B band, dollar yen, that was right. Oh, gee, what time frame was that? 15-minute, that's why. Okay, so that's this candle right here.
Lou, once you dismiss that alert box, can you bring it back up?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay.
But I can, we got a divergence here too now. We got another divergence. So this might be worth a bite. Okay, I won't close it this time. I'll just slide it over. All right. So now we've got a shift on my pound yen trade that we're in. I'm just going to shift this over. And let's organize this. And let's go take a look at pound yen. It gave us a B-band long in here somewhere on the 5 minute. Let me go back to the 5. So in here it gave us a long signal. All right. And this was kind of a risky trade because of how far we went. But again, we're only doing 0.1s, and we're more for the benefit of analyzing the trade after the signal kicks in. All right, so that was our pound yen, and there it is right there. But the candle's not closed. All right, let's just see what happens. You see it disappears. That's why that arrow is not a signal to trade. Just come take a look. And then that's all that is.
Lou, I noticed you didn't have your grid up, but all those hits right there are right at the 182 marker.
Oh, the 00.
Yep.
Oh, I don't have it on this particular this 5.5. I should throw it in there.
Like the 1 minute just hasn't closed above the 182 yet in the last 2 minutes. It's like tapping it and then not closing above yet.
Okay, so let me just throw the grid in. Pivot lines. Oh, gee, what was the name of that? A grid builder. Oh, here it is. 100, and I want to make these yellow. Yep, there you go. So this 82 might be protected, or it would make sense they would want to protect it, is what I should say. But we'll see. But again, that's dancing back and forward. And again, this is the same as that other pound trade. We're looking to take a shot down to the bottom, and only because that was the best looking thing at the moment on this particular setup. So now if this box is back up, Daryl, was there one particular thing you wanted to look at in here?
No, I was just wondering because, like I do what you do, and it pops up, then I'll usually dismiss it right away. But, maybe I should just move it off to the side and leave it open or something.
Right. Well, I usually stick it over in the corner here, but because we're trying to look at like the whole chart and analyze, I move it off to the one of the other monitors.
And I notice it does expand. That must be that expansion quality of these pop-up boxes and indicators and stuff like that. I think it must be built into MT4 now.
Well, it's built into the new one because I have the script that if I wanted to open up an indicator that had a million settings, I had a script that will open it up to the indicator just like this automatically. So I guess when they did the new version of 600, they added that feature.
Yeah.
May have been something people, clamored about. All right, so we're still short for the most part up here in our signal bar indicator. And the yen is still considerably stronger than the pound. So there's no reason to really bail. We had a signal here for a long, but as I said, you have to wait for the candle to close, wait for the candle to close, wait for the candle to close. Now this is a B band going up on euro dollar while we were talking. Let's take a look at that. That might have been here on this third candle. And nothing else there. So again, normally we'd be dancing around the charts, but because we're practicing working with these arrows and the signals, we'll just wait until we get a new pop-up and then go look at that chart. Now, the one thing I don't have set up is 1 minute charts with arrows on them, because the 5 and 15 are enough. When I get
Are the arrows just showing you where the crosses are?
Essentially, yeah. Not the crosses of the two moving averages. They're not showing you these crosses. It crosses. It just happens to line up that way, which is why I like it. This arrow is essentially showing you when prices are crossing the middle band of the Bollinger Band indicator. And I have it set to a very fast setting. So the combination of this 5-5 cross, because I used to trade the 5-5 cross without the arrows. You follow me? But I kept dancing around the charts all the time looking for the crosses, and you end up missing trades. So I came across this indicator, looked at what it did, and then I played with the settings and came up with a setting that would give me an extra confirmation, because Bollinger Bands is measuring something altogether different than this 5-5 cross. So if the two of them line up, well, hell, that's generally a pretty good signal. You follow me?
For sure.
Okay, so we again, here's the 1889 entry, just spot on the open of this red candle. But again, we're sticking with this system here, because if you cross systems up, you'll never. And what I don't know what it was euro dollar. Oh, I closed the box, didn't I? Yeah, I sure did. It was a euro dollar short. Do I have a 1 minute chart open somewhere? Well, I'm only in pound yen at the moment. Let's go take a look at pound yen. And again, it's meandering. I'm not exactly. B band's going down, euro dollar 15. 15, and then go euro dollar. Let me get rid of this. Oh, so it must have popped up on yeah, it's popping up on that arrow. On this candle, it's popping up. So you'll see when it gets like one tick low enough, you'll get the yellow arrow up there. There it is. And it's gone. And we've got a nice 1, 2, 3. We're mostly short on all of these time frames. The only thing is it's 3 candles deep, so by the time this candle closes, if that arrow is still there, we may get a bit of a pullback. There it is. I'm going to wait. I'm going to go look at a lower time frame because the only logical point here is right there, which is only 2 pips. You know what I'm saying? And the last time we were at this moving average, it bounced. The last time before that, it bounced. So, and we're 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th candle. So I'm going to sit on this for a minute and wait for a little bit of a pullback. And not that the trade won't be successful, but if I can avoid that ride, sometimes you can't. Like, we're in a 7-pip ride here, but if you remember, pound yen had a 6-pip spread. So we're really only down like 2, if you factor the spread in. And now we've got the tap off. Let's go down to the 1 minute. And let's just see if the 1 minute, ooh, that's a long way down. That's a lot of candles. Let's see if the 1 minute will give us a signal short here somewhere. And that would be the logical way into that. Yeah, keep going, keep going. And I closed the box. I got to remember to just slide it over. Okay, 9:30. They should be finished with breakfast.
Lou, before you leave, can I've been working with the 18. That's freaking, it's a really good moving average.
Oh, the 18?
Yeah. So when you got a spare second, throw a dollar CAD on there.
Pound yen, we got stopped out on. Okay, good. So dollar CAD.
Yeah, dollar CAD.
All right.
And
we're getting a bunch of B bands going down on dollar CAD right here. But okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, on the 1 hour dollar CAD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see where the 18 kept you in, depending on your entry, obviously, but the 18 does keep you in there. Oh, I found that article, by the way, the original article that got me into Larry Williams. Then I began to do more research after that, and his daughter won that same contest 20 years later. I want to put this in the Pip Factory room. Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. That's in the Pip Factory. So that's the original article I read that got me started with the 18 moving average and Larry Williams. And I've added my own stuff to it. But go ahead, Daryl, finish your thought.
Sure. Maybe give me the mouse. It's just quicker to do this.
Yep.
So. Okay. All right, I can do it from here. Okay, so here's, the orange is the 18. We're right down here, right?
Yep.
So as soon as I see close above the 18, sometimes even before, but let's just go with the straight close above the 18. Now I'm looking for swing points. This ends up actually being a swing point here, just slightly. And then the next closest one is right up here. So at this point, we have a break of this trend line.
Right. That's not a swing point, though. Keep that in mind, because you don't have two to the left and two to the right.
Okay.
But I see what you're doing. You've got that red candle is what you're using in conjunction
Tom
with the
DeMarco
green.
called this a level 1 swing point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's okay. You got to qualify then. Yeah, 'cause that's not a swing.
Right. Okay, but any swing is all we're kind of looking for here.
Gotcha.
Now, anyway, so price goes up smartly. You don't. Let's see. Well, you would just enter on the close this candle.
Okay.
Again, and the reason I chose this one is because there's a bunch of them on here, so it's easier to mark. Here's the next higher swing. Same thing happens. The next higher swing, same thing happens. Okay, and you know it's unusual to get this many in a row, but I just found out about this last week, and this week so far, I have four. I have 3 winners. One was a loser, but that's because I got out early. It was just about to go to the New York close. I knew the spreads were going to get all wonky. I got out early. My spread would have never been hit. It would have ended up being a winner too.
Okay.
But,
Show us short trades.
Short trades.
Same premise for the short trade.
Okay. So there was actually right here on here was the same thing. Here's our first close below the 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we take our swings right here.
That's one. Yeah.
And
I guess that lone soldier would be number 2. Starting from the same low, the same prior low.
Yeah, you could do that, and it would have been fine. I'm not so certain I would have been that motivated to take it since it's a spike, and on another broker this could look totally different. But it still ended up being a nice winner also.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So then, and actually there's one more right here. You've got, well, actually it would be this low to this low. Draw that in. This low. And so your entry comes on the open of this candle because it opened on the other side of the line. Thank you, Lou, for that.
Yep.
And so you have 6 winners in a row without a loss.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Now, do you have a PDF or anything with that specific concept with Tom DeMarco with the type 1 swing low?
Level 2. Gosh, I probably do someplace, but he counts them all the way to level 5.
Right. Well, I'd like to take a look at it just to get a little better, because I like a lot of what he does, Tom DeMarco.
Yeah.
And we built a robot on his pivot swings actually that I found, and that was actually doing quite well. And I don't remember why we stopped working with it, or maybe we got pulled off into some other area.
Yeah, I'll look for that and see if I can find it. Now, if you look at any 1-hour chart, see this, take a trade. I mean, basically, typically you're going to have a 20 to 25 pip stop and about a 20 to 25 pip gain. I mean, right now on the Aussie CAD, I just made 28 pips.
That's cool. Now, up here at the top of the screen, well, you don't have one here, actually. This is more of 1889 break right here. But if we had another swing point, a type 2 swing point, or whatever you called it in here, that would be something we could have looked at.
Well, here's the thing is, I look at stuff going up and down this far, and I don't think I'd take it because, this pair is kind of overcooked at the moment. It needs a decent retrace. Same thing with this one. I probably wouldn't have taken this one, even though it worked out, because it was, once again, I call it overcooked.
Right.
Uh,
Makes sense.
and
Yeah, it's extended itself too far.
yeah, but
All right.
if you catch a fresh one, like this one right here, this is one where you would want to, I would consider now taking these with a split trade and taking my profit at 20 or whatever, and then leaving in the rest.
All right. So you're first looking for a close below the 18, and then you go back looking for those trend lines. Is that the general premise?
Yeah,
All right, that's
yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah.
close above or below the 18.
Yeah.
Now, this is from a Forex factory thread, but he uses the 50 SMA, and I'm actually using the 18 SMA instead of the EMA, just for a little bit of
It's a little quicker.
less. Well, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I just stuck with that. And then the 50, it works fine too. However, I have always keep an 18 on my charts, and I started noticing, well, hell, take it at the 18. You get in a lot quicker. The
Yeah.
50 would be in right over here someplace.
I know, quite some time off. And the 50 will be drawn from here to there.
Yeah, and that would
Yeah.
work too.
Gotcha. All right. It looks good. I just want to run down a few of these pairs here before I go because I see.
Yeah, sorry,
No, that was good. That's I always like that kind of stuff. Don't worry about it. So we see R2 held here on this dollar CAD, just as a side note. Well, let's go look at pound dollar. Again, what was that trade we got popped on? Was the dollar yen, or that trade that didn't work out, I should say. It was pound yen.
yeah.
Yeah, and again, we took a shot at the bottom here, which was, a bit risky, but it's the same trade we took on pound dollar. The difference was the pound dollar did give us a few pips to the bottom. The pound yen never really got past its own spread. All right, so same concept, and this one is now giving us a long signal, but possibly to the 18 there. Let me just go here. B bands on 15 pound yen. We're looking at that. Pound Aussie 5 minute. Let's go take a look at that. And then we'll come back and do this again tomorrow. Pound Aussie going down. So that must have been right in here somewhere. You see we're way over bought here. So this looks like it wants to turn. MACD is now making lower histograms. This could give us a decent turn back down to this, what do you call it, to the 18 or the 55. 6 pip spread, so you want to make sure your entries, primo. And we don't have the arrow here yet either. And then B-band's going down on EuroCAD while we were talking with Daryl, and that was over here. And that was the entry right there, and that should be about, I was going to say 10 pips, but it's like 8 and change. That could have been a decent one for a 4 pip spread. All right. So I hope I didn't go too fast for anybody, and this is recorded and it'll be updated a little bit later. And we'll do this again tomorrow, but we had a couple of decent trades in a row. We had 2, and then we had one, this one here. So these 2 cancel out, and these 2, and I think we should have one more winner in here. Let's go back here. Where are we? 13. Yeah, so we're a little bit ahead. Again, with small lot size, but we're looking at working with the new system, with the new setup. Okay? So we'll come back and do this again tomorrow, same time, same place. Any questions? What's that?
Have fun in traffic.
Well, we're going to Newark Airport, so it's actually not that bad. We're going away from the traffic, technically, into New Jersey. So,
Okay.
It should be good. All right, gents. I will see you again in the morning. Be well.
Thank you, Lou.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks, Luke.